of fun, right? You're having fun.
Yeah.
It's the Rockin' Metal Revival!
It's on every Thursday night at 8 o'clock, right after your local news.
Crank it up!
And I'm not mainlining acid.
Anymore.
Well, I'm not going to promise that.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
I don't smoke and do this anymore. Don't be afraid.
Welcome to the show!
All right, horns up, metalheads. Time for another edition of Rockin' Metal Revival.
You're not smoking the angel dust, are you?
No, but you smoked some in here.
I did, yes.
Now I know where that song Purple Haze came from.
Fumigating. I
Wow.
thought it would help.
Smells nice.
Makes the time go quicker.
Yeah, it's such a drag doing this, yeah.
It is, man.
On today's show, we've got another shredder.
We got the super shredder.
That's right.
This is like the shredder on guitar and the shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all combined. This is like the super shredder.
This guy makes Yngwie Malmsteen look like he's playing with a walker.
Yeah, he looks like he's like on ludes.
We're talking about Michael Angelo Batio.
Yeah, some
got
good stuff too. I really like this album.
New album out called Shred Force 1, The Essential Michael Angelo Batio. And some guest stars on there like Todd LaTorre from Queensryche.
Yeah, we'll play something you're going to hear.
Yeah, we're going to play some of that. Coming up next hour, we've got...
And he doesn't sound like Jeff Tate.
No!
He doesn't,
No.
which is crazy.
It's crazy.
How? How does that happen?
I don't know. It's a mystery.
We got to talk to him about that. How does
that happen?
Yeah.
All right. Coming up, we got News of the Weird. We got water cooler talk. You know, talking
Really?
real metal.
We're going to talk about water coolers.
That's right. But why don't we kick the show off?
Chugging beer and water coolers, eh?
When I sent you the playlist, you had to be wondering what the hell I was smoking when I picked this tune.
I did.
This is Gary Moore from the early years.
Oh,
this is
good.
Victims of the Future on Rockin' Metal Revival.
Can't beat that.
From the CD Symbol of Salvation, there is Armored Saint and Dropping Like Flies on Rockin' Metal Revival. And it was good to see this week online. They're going to be putting out a new album coming in June.
Yeah, they got a new tune out? Did you check it out?
Yeah, I checked it out. I like it,
I didn't have a chance.
Do you like Armored Saint?
Yeah. I like John Bush. He's a good vocalist.
Exactly.
Man, so,
yeah. I mean, I wasn't really into Armored Saint during their heyday, and then I always liked Anthrax.
I always thought they had cool album covers and shit, you know?
And I always liked their music once I went back to it.
Yeah.
And Andy actually was the guy that said, you got to listen to Armored Saint. If you like Anthrax, you're going to love Armored Saint. And he's right. And I can't wait. I'd love to see them in concert just once.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. So what else? What's new with you, brother? How'd you like your 50th birthday party the other night?
The
surprise one.
I thought it was an intervention at first.
Yeah.
I was ready to turn out. Yeah, that was nice. Sneaky. You guys are sneaky fuckers, man.
Yeah. You could. I'm taking all the blame for that one.
You and my daughter are coming up with this
Yeah.
shit.
And Ma.
Yeah, Ma.
You know.
She held her mouth. She kept her mouth shut, and I didn't know about it. She almost let something go.
Yeah.
But it didn't. I didn't figure it out.
She says to me something about, how come you didn't call me to help plan this? And I said, can you keep a secret? And she just looked at me and smiled. So, that was pretty cool. And coming up, good news. Red Dragon Cartel, after we talked to Anthony Esposito last week, remember he says, we're playing in Milwaukee somewhere, June 5th. Comes out, he's playing in our backyard pretty much.
We got to get tickets for this.
So looking forward to seeing Red Dragon Cartel again
in Janesville.
That'd
be awesome.
I told Anthony I'd take that day off and we just hang.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool, dude.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. Also got Priest coming up, Priest and Saxon.
You know what? We should send a shout out to Steve Reamer.
Reamer.
We met him at the concert thing here at the mall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he came up and said, "Hey, you're Red. I listened to your show." And I thought, yeah, he's the one. I told you.
Really?
I told you there was one.
All right. Hey,
yeah, Steve.
Steve, thanks for listening. All right, and Jerry's mom. Okay.
See what happens? I get stoned and I'm like, hey, man.
You can really think of some stuff.
You remember back when?
Exactly.
Back when, man.
Hey, did you hear this new Dave Van Halen live? Have you heard the cuts?
I've heard a few of them, and I saw them on the freaking TV live, and
do you want me to get tickets? That's, I guess, my point.
See, it's like a nostalgia thing. I'd go see him just so I could say, hey, I saw Van Halen, but it's not like I'd be, if if the weather sucked, I wouldn't mind not going too,
Yeah.
just because
If I get free tickets, I'd go.
it would hurt my ears listening to David, because he doesn't sound like he's even taking it serious when he's singing.
Yeah. Well, I got
But
to
I know
see,
he's trying to have a good time, the Big Showman thing, but
Boys do
put a
boys do
little
bop.
goddamn effort into it, will you?
But I got to see him. The first time I saw Van Halen was on the Fair Warning tour.
Yeah.
I saw him on Fair Warning, I saw him on Diver Down, and I saw him on 1984 with David Lee Roth. And it was a great show, man.
Yeah.
Bar none, man. Hey, I never was a Van Halen fan because of the great vocals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But back then, at least he could add some
At least he had
chops.
Michael Anthony
Yeah.
to really throw that Van Halen backing vocal in.
Yeah.
Then I saw him with Sammy Hagar, Van Halen.
Yeah.
Different band, great band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't see the Gary Cherone version, and I haven't seen them since they reunited. But to me, it just doesn't.
You really need to see the Gary Cherone version.
I
'cause
would,
I think
yeah.
that would probably
I
be
did.
your favorite.
I did. It was called Extreme.
Is that
Yeah.
your favorite version?
Yeah.
No.
But I don't know. I'm not going to buy it though.
No, I'm not either.
I can't. So
Even though they're packaging a couple remastered older albums. If you buy the albums, so, I'm not buying it.
no, I don't think so. But we can play them on the show.
No.
Yeah. Why don't we play something from Women and Children First?
Oh, not live.
No, hell no.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. From Women and Children First.
Back when they could do retakes.
Exactly.
And make it sound good.
Here's Van Halen, some classic Van Halen. This is In a Simple Rhyme on Rock and Metal Revival. There's Hearing Aid, and We Are Stars on Rock and Metal Revival. Dude, I had to put that on the playlist after you bought the vinyl.
I know. I got the vinyl for $8, and it's fucking pristine with the freaking the fold
Yeah.
with all the shit. Yeah, really nice, man.
You've been getting a lot of vinyl lately.
I have. Did you see my thing? I got.
No.
Oh, I got it.
I don't want to see your thing.
No, yeah, my thing, man. No, well, how can you not see it? It's right
oh,
here.
yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's impressive.
I know.
Yeah.
But no, I got some bookcase kind of shit, so I can put my albums out without my cat fucking them up.
Yeah, I was talking to your mom the other night at the party, and I was like, boy, he's been buying a lot of records.
Yeah,
Just like when he was a kid. And she goes, what is he doing that for? And I said, because he likes to smoke that stuff and watch the holograms lift off the vinyl.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, as long as he's having fun.
Yeah. It's not hurting anybody. Okay.
He's such a good boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well,
I know.
it's time for News of the Weird.
Yeah. That was fun, though.
That was a good time. Hey, a model gives her boyfriend a threesome for a birthday gift because she couldn't find anything better.
You sent that to me.
Attention, Kimberly. Attention.
My birthday.
My
I
wife.
already missed.
Hey.
You just missed a birthday, too.
I know,
Ours are
we just
both
missed
gone.
them.
They come out with this shit like a
After
couple
our birthday.
months. What's
Hey,
up with
I wonder if
that?
Brenda's listening. Hey, for Andy's birthday.
Andy,
Hook him up.
Yeah.
There you
See,
go.
it sounds like a good deal.
Girl was looking to buy a present for her boyfriend for her birthday. She couldn't because it was too complicated. Something electronic or sports related would probably do the trick, but some guys are more complicated to buy for, like you and I.
Yeah.
We're complicated guys.
Hell yeah.
Which means their partners have to be a little more creative in their
complex.
gift giving. Chilean model Daniela Chavez is having some difficulty trying to figure out what to buy her boyfriend, so she got an excellent idea. She decided to bring another female friend to dinner and take her back to the bedroom for some three-way fun. Dude, I just, you know what? Does this really happen?
I think this has got to be like a it's
Just like
Dear
a-
Penthouse. It's a penthouse letter.
I didn't know.
I don't know. Hey, we can't guarantee.
How do you
this
return
shit's
it?
real.
How do you return it if you don't like it?
Yeah. What happens if? Yeah.
She's a Playboy model. This was in Playboy.
Oh.
That's why I sent you the story.
Oh,
Yeah, today's Half's birthday.
Oh, well, happy birthday,
Yeah.
Hef. Poor bastard. I wonder what he's doing today.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Wonder how many he's going to do.
If you're
today.
Hugh Hefner and you die,
yeah.
you're not really going to a better place. Think about it.
Yeah, he's pretty much.
He's got it dicked, yeah.
He's gonna,
Jeez. All right, judge
Poor
gives
guy.
teacher who had sex with student 30 days, calls her dangling candy. Pennsylvania wife and former teacher was referred to as dangling candy by a judge who gave her just 30 days for statutory rape of a teen.
man.
Erica Giannetti, 35, was arrested in January in Lower Moreland after police were tipped off when the victim showed photos and videos of the woman to his classmates. Dumbass.
What a fucking moron.
Yeah.
You don't realize.
As a young teenager, you're getting a piece of ass and you're going to blow it.
Fucking dumbass. You're going to look back on this. Oh.
The photos included her in a bikini and others of her just in her underwear and thong. A video sent to the teen showed her undressing in a sexually charged manner.
Ooh. Yeah. And he fucking showed it to... What a dumbass.
Yeah.
You had it made.
Go jerk.
You're probably getting good fucking grades in the class and not having to do shit either.
Now you're going to fail the class and you're going to jerk it. Yeah.
Exactly. Fucking moron.
Oklahoma KFC shows sex scene. An Oklahoma family who went to KFC for dinner was willing to pay good money to see some thighs and breasts, but they didn't expect to see the parts wiggling in sexual congress. What happened last Thursday to Gerald and April Whalen was they ate a Kentucky Fried Chicken in Edmonton, Oklahoma, and their 6-year-old twin boys, and saw an explicit sex scene on the overhead TV.
Oh, nice.
Old Gerald says, I was flabbergasted. Couldn't believe it. I looked up from my plate, and they were taking on full nudity.
Oh, nice. Really?
Yeah, in order to avoid arousing the interest of the twins, the parents tried not to react to the kinky footage. That was hard to do because of the moaning and heavy breathing coming from the screen.
Oh, shit.
The Whalens initially thought that there was a pornographic film on the TV, but it was later identified as a merely sexually explicit scene from the racy star show Outlander.
Oh, yeah. That's another one I haven't watched yet. I'm going to have to watch that. It's got racy sex scenes. I got to watch that.
Old Gerald
How the hell did that get by me?
Old Gerald here, he filmed the X-rated video on his phone while other customers griped to employees. The manager came running out and flipped the TV off really quick, said Gerald. I think she actually unplugged it.
Really quick?
Yep. The corporate headquarters of the fried chicken giant apologized in a statement to TV station KO.
Who the fuck put stars on?
We should call the local KFC
I wonder,
here in
see
town
what's playing.
and see if they've got any porn on.
I was going to go to KFC just to see what's playing.
Yeah.
What's playing on the tube.
We'd like to know what's playing on your TV there, and we will take a box of breasts. Yeah.
Maybe a couple thighs.
You know what the difference between what do women and Kentucky Fried Chicken have in common?
Huh.
Once you get past the breasts and the thighs, all you got is a greasy box to put your bone in. All right, cowbell. What the hell? All right.
I'm fucking laughing. That's bad.
Easter egg hunt world record attempted descends into chaos.
World record Easter hunt?
Yeah.
Easter egg hunt?
They were apparently some bad eggs in the crowd and attempted to break a record for most Easter eggs in a single hunt. Turned into a chaotic mess in Sacramento this past Sunday. Thousands turned out in California's Capitol grounds to search for 510,000 Easter eggs.
Wow, that's like a lot.
It may have been the largest hunt ever, but it failed to break the record due to a technicality. Event of the fundraiser Blue Heart, a new organization.
Only one person was allowed to get them all.
A new organization that raises money for human trafficking victims. Instead of waiting for the official start of the hunt, many children and adults rushed onto the field as soon as the eggs were put down.
Oh, what a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, they ruined it for everybody.
Oh, did they stomp on them? A bunch of eggs? Really? Yeah. That would be bad. And then they didn't find half of them.
Egg salad sucks. It's going to stink in the summer. All right, and last but not least, Disney World employee masturbated and flung bodily fluids on a woman. Welcome to the happiest place on earth.
It was for him, not for her, probably.
Walt Disney World employee is behind bars after he allegedly masturbated in a Walmart in...
probably Florida.
That's right. And he was flinging his bodily fluids on an unsuspecting shopper. Taylor
Walmart?
Davis, 20, was arrested Tuesday after a security guard spotted him in the infants department, allegedly pleasuring himself through a hole he cut inside his black hooded sweatshirt. Surveillance video allegedly shows Davis flinging his bodily fluids on an unsuspecting woman and also wiping a white substance onto 3 packages of hefty trash bags, according to reports. Responding officers found Davis in the Walmart parking lot and took him in for questioning. Davis allegedly told the sheriff's deputies he was shopping in Walmart while listening to audio pornography on his phone. And touching himself inside his shirt. Investigators said he admitted following a woman in her mid-30s around the store. Oh, God. Despite,
man.
Davis also said he had no problem and confessed that he publicly masturbates at his job at Walt Disney World, the happiest place on earth.
Nice. So that thing you thought was snot.
Yeah.
That you thought was snot. You put your hand in.
Thought was sour cream on your nachos?
Yeah.
You're wrong. Davis was charged with disorderly conduct and criminal mischief, but was bailed out of jail on Wednesday on $750 bond, according to a press release.
Oh, nice, man. Way to go, Florida.
Yeah,
Woo-hoo!
Way to go.
You're really kicking some ass there.
Hey, all right. We got coming up, we're going to go around the water cooler and talk about things that are going on in the rock and roll world. Coming up, Skid Row's getting a new singer.
You think so?
Again, I hear.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that, but right now let's play some classic Skid Row. Here's the title track from their sophomore album. This is Slave to the Grind on Rock and Metal Revival.
Here's your latest hard rock and metal news on Rock and Metal Revival.
All right, horns up, metalheads. Time for talking real metal news you can't use. Grab the children's, get around the
grab them by the scruff of their neck, drag them,
get them over because they're going to learn something here.
Yeah, because this is important stuff here.
Yeah. D. Snyder says AJ Perro's irresponsible behavior led to his death.
Yeah.
How do you? I mean, you know what? Leave the guy in peace.
Because he didn't take care of his heart, man.
Yeah.
Because his heart, he had a heart. His family.
Yeah.
He had a history of
heart
disease and stuff, and he'd never go get it checked out, and that's why he had 95% blockage, and boom, shouldn't have killed him, but it did.
Dead. All right.
So get your shit checked as you get older, man.
Get your shit checked. Yeah. Colonoscopies for everyone. All right, singer Johnny.
That's kind of like what this is.
This whole show is
like
an audio colonoscopy.
Yes, you're welcome.
Right.
You're welcome, Eric.
Singer Johnny Solinger quit Skid Row. I read something with Rachel Bowl, and he says they got rid of him.
I know. There's freaking headlines,
and then Tony Hartnell.
Yeah,
he's not going to sound worth a shit singing those.
First thing I saw was that he quit the band.
Yeah,
that he was wanted to go do his own thing.
Yeah,
and I thought, okay, that's cool. And then next thing I see is Rachel Bolan saying, "No, we fucking fired him."
Yeah, and he wasn't giving 100%.
Yeah, and it's like
Skid Row's a joke.
And I see why Sebastian wouldn't want to be with him, and I don't blame it all on Sebastian. I think I think Rachel's a dick.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, that ain't cool.
I'm not joining.
I would have just let it go, man.
Yeah.
Let it go. He's gone.
Yeah.
You don't need to sit
here
and
say,
"No, we fucking fired him, man." He didn't just. Yeah, he didn't back. He just said,
"I'm going to work on other things.
Work on my solo stuff." And that's
Rachel's got to get the last word.
Yeah,
all right,
that's not cool.
Black Sabbath pulls out of Ozfest Japan. Ozzy to perform solo set.
See, I don't think Tony's doing good.
I don't think so.
I think that fucking sucks, man.
And Twisted Sisters, why all the Twisted Sisters shit?
Yeah.
Twisted Sisters, Dee Snider featured on Oprah's Where Are They Now?
I just liked it because it said, "Oh, where are they now?"
Yeah, exactly. Motorhead's
he's in the news now because his drummer
died. Motorhead's Lemmy says he's only smoking 1 pack of cigarettes a week now. Good for him. Good for Lemmy. At least he's cutting down.
He quit for 2 years, but now he's back to smoking. He's just... Man,
Mike Portnoy, the winery dog's got to get out there because this is a rotten gig. Twisted Sister taps drummer Mike Portnoy for upcoming shows.
Yeah, he's going to help him. Well, he was good friends with him and stuff.
Yeah.
It's more like that.
A favor.
Work
on the winery dogs, Mike.
Yeah, they're gonna.
AC/DC's Rocker Boss nominated for Billboard Music Award.
Yeah.
Megadeth has finished writing 15 new songs. That's good news.
So they'll probably put out about 18.
Yeah, exactly. Slayer's Kerry King says Jeff Hanneman's playing will not be on the new album.
Well, I'd hope not.
Skid Row fired Johnny. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
Iron Maiden catalog now mastered for iTunes. I think that's cool because some of the older stuff on MP3 doesn't sound that great.
See, I don't hear a lot of the difference.
I haven't listened. Have you bought it on MP3?
I haven't bought anything off of the iTunes thing of any of the newer stuff.
I want to see how well Number of the Beast sounds because
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I'd have to have them both right in front of me, and just compare them, because I don't hear a lot of difference with that.
Yeah.
But because once you digitize it, man,
It
it's
loses
vinyl.
something.
Yeah, just get the fucking
Yeah.
vinyl, man. Because you got, just chill out and you put the album on and you hear the needle go, and then something good's coming.
Have another hit.
Go ahead, sorry.
Nick Menza, I was offered a very unfair deal to rejoin Megadeth. No shit.
Yeah, of course you
Sure
were.
Yeah, Jolyn Turner says he
You're
will.
a drummer,
Yeah.
dude. What are you gonna go out there and sing lead too? Come on.
Where the hell was I?
Oh, I don't know.
Jolyn Turner says he will reunite with ex-Rainbow bandmate Richie Blackmore later this year. That would be kind of cool.
He said they will, which
Yeah.
we'll see. I doubt it. His Yoko
Yeah.
ain't gonna let that happen.
Modern day version of 80s metal all-star project Hearing Aid to re-record a new song for charity.
Hey, and you just played it.
Yep.
You just played that freaking 8-minute song.
Yep. And Lita Ford's Living Like a Runaway, a memoir now set to arrive in June. And she still won't get the cowbell
It
joke.
was spilled. Yeah, maybe that's why they held up, because she wrote a whole new chapter on the cowbell.
On how she didn't get that joke.
On her missing that joke and what it's done to her life since.
All right, that's going to wind up talking real metal. Here's some Crowbot. Next hour, we'll talk to Michael Angelo Batio. And we're looking forward to talking to him. Right now, like I said, Crowbot, this is Nowhere to Hide on Rockin' Metal Revival.
This portion of Rockin' Metal Revival is brought to you by...
We shared an 8-ball, among other things. We spoke of hopes and dreams, of what the world needs now. I played him a song inspired by his Magnus Opum, a song about the healing power of sex and love and rock and roll. He said it sounded like a pit bull raping a small deaf child. I don't think he meant it as a compliment.
There's brand new music from Hailstorm. I really like that, called Mayhem, from their new CD called Into the Wildlife. And hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to Lizzie Hale coming up.
Yeah, I've almost listened to the whole thing so far. Yeah,
I'm digging it.
It's okay, man. I'm liking it.
All right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like it's different.
Hey,
It's okay.
You know,
It's good
I had
so far.
I had a
What I've heard.
chance to see Michael Angelo Batio a few years ago at Back Bar.
I wasn't here, man. I would have loved to see that. I would have went to see that.
It was kind of cool, and and I've never really bought any of his music, and then we got this new album from Rat Pack from our friend Joe O'Brien, and I've been listening to it, and I'm thinking, this is cool.
I'm liking it. Yeah, it's
And you're
cool.
more of a
Good
shredder
stuff.
type guitar guy than I am.
Yeah,
I'm,
I can appreciate
Yeah.
what the hell's going on there, man.
I'm more of a bluesy type.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's cool to listen to. And hey, before we go into this interview, there's something I got to say to one of our affiliates, Corey Harker.
What'd Corey do?
He keeps putting on every Saturday night.
Yeah.
Oh, got the friends over tonight. We're going to sit around and listen to
Oh,
a certain
listen.
radio program. We're not going to mention.
Oh, I know.
Certain radio program.
With the initials MSC.
Yeah. And, hey, did they ever invite you to their
something
birthday
like
party,
that.
Corey?
Yeah. What's up with that?
How about a little RMR love, buddy? That's all I'm going to say.
I'm just, I wouldn't even, man, I wouldn't say anything, but, come on, man. What
All
the
right.
hell?
I know he doesn't listen to us. I don't blame him.
I wouldn't either.
No.
I don't even show up for this.
Yeah, this is just my
Yeah.
double.
Yeah.
All right, so here
We send our clones.
clones in from the new Michael Angelo Batio. This is What You're Doing.
Cool Rush tune, man.
All right, on Rockin' Metal Revival. From the album Shred Force 1, the essential Michael Angelo Batio, there is What You're Doing on Rockin' Metal Revival, man, and there is just some shredding going on in that.
I'm telling you, that's awesome, isn't it?
It is, and we are fortunate enough to have Michael on the show with us today. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited.
Michael, when Joe from Rat Pack sent this over, Jerry's a huge guitar fan, and we sat there and listened to it. What a great CD that you've released here.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Now you've been out for. You're not new to the world of metal and guitar. You've been around for a little bit, and we heard from Todd Latore. How did you get Todd Latore on your album?
Well, Joe, the president of Rat Pack Records, had pretty much orchestrated the Essential MAB record, and he had mentioned that I knew Michael Wilton, but I didn't know Todd, and he had suggested to talk with Todd and see if we had a meeting of the minds to be able to record together. And I talked to Todd, and we hit it off immediately. And I found out he was a drummer first. He just happens to possess this amazing voice and really charismatic guy. And we discussed how we were going to do the songs, and the rest just came out, I think, magical. He's one of my favorite singers. He's got an unbelievable range. He's got soul. He's got it all.
Well, what I wanted to ask you was, that last song that we just heard, "What You're Doing," is a Rush cover, and then you've got a Deep Purple cover of "Burn." How did you pick these songs? Are these favorites of yours throughout the years?
Well, "Burn" definitely is, and I loved it from the first time I'd heard the original Deep Purple version with Coverdale and Glenn Hughes, but "What You're Doing" was actually presented to me from Rat Pack Records, from the label. And Joe said he thought about doing a Rush song, and I'm a big fan of Rush's, but it's more from the Neil Peart era, and not really. I didn't know much about that first album, and so he sent me the song, and I thought, wow, this is really. I'd never even heard the song before, but I liked it. It was bluesy. It had kind of those Rush elements, and we talked over who we would get to play on it. We wanted an all-star cast, and I kind of just put it on in my studio and started working, just riffing out with it, and. I'm not going to say that I didn't even want to play it like Alex Life said. I'm a huge fan of his, but they've already done that version. I wanted to put my signature on it, but really that song came about from Joe, from Rat Pack Records, from the president, and I loved it. It was a little departure for me, but I think Todd sang it fantastically. He's got members of TSO, Metal Church, Alice Cooper, Queensryche, all on one song. It's great.
Now you did got some other songs on here. One's a tribute to Eric Clapton. You got one for Dimebag, and you got one for Randy Rhoads, which I love all of them. The slow hand one to Eric Clapton was pretty awesome. He used a lot of cool tunes like Layla and some other really cool riffs, and the way you intertwined them with some classical stuff was pretty creative. I was impressed.
Oh, thank you. I even when I was a kid, I grew up playing songs in bands and a lot of cover songs and in the era when you had to do 5 45-minute sets a night as a cover band, and so I know thousands of cover songs, and I've learned solos note for note from just so many classic rock songs, but I always had this penchant for arranging. And I have a degree in music. It doesn't make me smart or better or cooler than anyone. But I studied music, and I've always had this flair for arranging. And I used to take songs. I remember taking the Thin Lizzy song, Jailbreak, and there's that section in there that it just keeps repeating this riff over and over.
With the sirens are going on.
Keys like 50 times, and I'm not that much, but I did this mondo, big, huge arrangement of it, and the audience liked it. And I've been doing that my whole life. And the tributes that I picked, I loved Eric Clapton. A lot of people say Jimi Hendrix from that era, and I like Hendrix. I love him. I can't say anything negative about that. But Clapton was absolutely way more of an influence for me than Hendrix, because I related more to the way he played, to his sound, and the structure of what he did. I loved Hendrix, but Clapton was really special to me, and so was Randy Rhoads, and the tributes that I do. I really love the artists, and I want to pay respect to them and do my own version of their music.
So have there been any solos that you've done and then said, man, I should have played that faster?
I don't know. I know I'm known as a fast guitarist, but I've been on lists it's voted the #1 fastest and all this, but I've never voted myself. I never really. My goal was never ever to be the fastest guitarist. It's just I have that ability. I just play the way I hear it. If I hear a fast part and I feel like playing it, I'll do it. Mm-hmm. It makes me feel like I'm doing 200 miles an hour in a Lamborghini. That's how playing fast. It feels good. It's powerful. Uh-huh. But, for example, in the Clapton song, when I played the song Badge, I played a fast riff at the end, but I just couldn't really see riffing out in that solo.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just such a great solo to start with, and I did my interpretation of it.
You know, Michael, the first time I had a chance to see you was at the Back Bar here in Janesville. And when I saw you play that double neck guitar with the necks going the two ways, I was just totally taken back by that. And I want to know, where did that idea come from? And I mean, how do you master something like that?
Thank you. I invented that guitar, and I've had Steve Vai, who I know, he did a version of my guitar. Jack Black did it in that movie, The Pick of Destiny.
Yeah.
So I've had, I've been in commercials, TV commercials with the guitar.
It was just on the metal show.
I started guitar at 10. I studied jazz, and in my hometown of Chicago, every Sunday they used to have a TV show where they would play concerts of different genres. One week it might be Willie Nelson, another week it might be the Allman Brothers, and this one week they had a jazz concert. And I'm sitting there as this 11-year-old kid watching this thing, and all of a sudden this blind saxophone player walks on stage named Rahsaan Roland Kirk. And they abbreviated, the show wasn't that long, and he was only a portion of his concert. So about 10 minutes into it, this guy puts two saxes on, and he's playing two saxophones at the same time. And I went, wow. And I said to myself, I am left-handed, first of all. I play a right-handed guitar. I play piano. I can play lefty. It was my natural way to play. I said, I'm going to do that on guitar. And then and I had it in my mind from the time I was a kid. And then when I would draw designs when I was in high school. It just sat in my head for a long time, for years. And then finally, when I became a young adult, and I was going to college and I got out of school, I got in a band that was very close to being signed to Atlantic Records. We were going to be signed, but it didn't happen yet. And I approached Dean Guitars, and they were from my hometown of Chicago, and I told them my idea, and they built it. And the owner, I remember, he said, he goes, "You're crazy. You're not stupid." And I told him exactly how I wanted it, and the very first one worked. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. It was playable.
Now, do you run it stereo, where each neck's going into a different amp, so you get, or is it?
And it's funny because the first time I played that guitar ever live was backing up Aerosmith. We were on tour, and they actually had somebody from the venue come into our dressing room and say, Brad and Joe want to talk to you. And both Brad Whitford and Joe Perry said, "Are you going to play it?" Because they saw it set up on stage, but I had never played it. And Aerosmith, we only had 35 minutes as an opening act, not 36. If we got an encore, too bad. And they let me play longer, and they were standing on the side. I was petrified, but I only had it in one amp, and it sounded terrible. And after that one show, I realized each guitar is its own separate instrument.
Yeah.
Each one gets its own amp, and then from that point on, it was smooth sailing.
See, I actually learned how to build guitars about 5 years ago, and I'm on my 19th one now. But building something like that, geez, I wouldn't have a clue. With the two necks on how to set it up and stuff.
An engineering mind. For example, my early designs of the double were the necks pointing straight out, so they'd be like at a right angle from perpendicular to your body. And I remember seeing a Van Halen concert. I saw their second tour, and it's when Roth was jumping 10 feet off a drum riser, doing scissor kicks in the air. I mean, it's the most dynamic lead singer I'd ever seen. And I remember watching Van Halen, and he had lifted his guitar up to do this really cool tapping part. And the light bulb went off in my head. I said, humans don't play perpendicular. They play on an angle. What is that angle? And I took a picture of Van Halen. I took a piece of tracing paper, traced his image. It was a full body shot. I flipped it upside down, backward, and I'm looking at the double. I'm looking at my traced version and Van Halen's version. I took a protractor and just measured the neck angles, and it was roughly 115 degrees. So just little things like that. And the guitar is actually two small guitars that fit together with a flight case latch. I can put it together literally in about 3 seconds, take it apart in less than 3 to 5 seconds.
Now that's clever.
So it's all engineered really cool, but it took a long time to do.
Oh, yeah, I bet, because I'm sitting here, that guitar case is going to be a bitch to drag around because it's like 8 feet long.
Yeah, it looks like a keyboard case. See, I thought of all these things, like I've got to travel around the world with a case like this.
Yeah.
It can't be that big, and I've got to carry this thing.
Yeah.
So if you picture each guitar facing each other, so the body of one is virtually
They just
right
like-
next to the headstock of the other.
Ah,
And
nice.
so it fits in a rectangular case that actually looks like a keyboard case, and it only weighs 42 pounds with the case.
Wow.
So it's all, I can take it anywhere on the planet, and nobody argues.
Wow.
Nice. That is pretty cool.
So, Michael, what are the plans as far as getting out on the road? What are your touring plans?
I do over 100 shows every year, and I never take anything in music for granted. I love what I do, and I'm grateful to be able to continue to do this. But I've toured in 58 countries already, and this year alone, my year started off in Israel for the first time. I'd never been there, to Tel Aviv for a concert. I've been in L.A., New York, Chicago, about 20 different cities around the U.S., and we did a 26-city, 11-country tour of Europe all already this year.
Dang.
The rest of this year, I do concerts and I do some guitar clinics. It's about, the ratios right now is about 70% concerts, 30% clinics. And so I've got another, the rest of this year will be devoted solely to both of those, concerts, the remaining clinics, and I'm going to support Shred Force One for the entire year. That's the year. And I'm already scheduled to go to India next month. I've got 7 shows there. I've got a month-long tour of Europe again at the end of the year. And then there's China and Brazil, and then the rest is the United States.
All right. Well, if people want to keep up with what you're doing, where can they find out about you on the World Wide Web?
Yeah, I've got a simple website. My middle name is Angelo, Michael Angelo Batio, and my website is angelo.com, and it's constantly updated.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Very cool.
Now, do you ever run into like tendinitis and all that stuff? I mean, carpal tunnel problems or anything with
That's a great
the
question.
repetitive motion of those fingers? Because I played guitar and I ended up having to get carpal tunnel surgeries, and it helped a lot, but I had no idea what the hell was going on. And I can imagine, as fast as you play and the repetitive motions must play hell on some of that. You got to do some special stretches and stuff, or?
Well, I've been in music a long time. I have never, ever had a hand or arm injury, especially from playing guitar.
Wow.
Nothing. My fingers feel fantastic, and I've released a lot. I've done a lot of instructional programs over the years. In fact, I got to release the very first quote shred unquote guitar video ever, and these are techniques that I learned from watching other great players. I only took guitar lessons for 3 years, and my teacher didn't teach me technique. I learned jazz. I learned, chords and phrasing. But what I did was this: being a lefty, playing right-handed guitar, going to music school, studying piano, I always was careful about how my hands actually approach the guitar. So, and I talk about this in my instructional programs. I have never been hurt. I warm up very slowly. I have a lot of wild things that I do on stage. But when I actually just play guitar, I don't move a lot. My wrists aren't bent in weird positions. Everything I do, the way I play, is geared towards what I call economy of motion, and it serves me well. But one of the main things is I warm up slow, and I have different warm-ups because a lot of times on tour I don't get a chance to play much. If I'm doing an interview or just even, the plane arrives late or if we're on a bus, and you never know. I mean, just stuff happens all the time. So I have a short warm-up that I do, and then when I'm recording and I have time, I have a nice long warm-up. But I always warm up before I play, and I've never been injured. And I feel part of it, maybe I was lucky and born with maybe the genetics of it, but the other thing is I'm really, really careful about the way my wrist bends when I play the guitar on both hands. If you play like a blues player, your hand is almost like at a 90-degree angle, and I mean that can't feel good, playing for 5 hours like that. Mine isn't. It's almost straight, like everything's pretty straight when I play, or it's on a really light angle, so that's real comfortable for my fingers, and I think that's the main thing. I used to tell people, think lazy. The less you move, It doesn't mean you have to be slow, but the less you move, the easier it is to not only play fast, but to ensure that you don't hurt yourself.
Yeah. So are there any songs on the new album you think could have benefited from adding some cowbell?
From what? I'm sorry?
Some cowbell? Think any of the...
Cowbell. Let's see. Maybe the Eric Clapton one, when we break into the little Sunshine of Your Love. That.
Yeah.
Would have been nice to hear like quarter notes on a cowbell.
There you go. Because Red can shred on a cowbell.
Yeah,
He's going to come out with a DVD pretty soon, shredding on the bell.
Yeah, I'm
waiting.
from Wisconsin. Yeah,
yeah, we love the cowbell.
Exactly. Well, Michael, we appreciate you taking some time out. We want everybody to go out and check this album out called Shred Forced 1, the essential Michael Angelo Batio CD. It is fantastic, and we're going to play the Deep Purple classic, your version of it, Burn. Michael, thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you.
There's the title track to Blackstone Cherry's latest CD. It's called Magic Mountain on Rockin' Metal Revival. Looking forward to seeing them in a couple weeks.
Where are they going to be?
They're going to be in Rockford at the District.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, man, they sold... America sucks, dude.
Yeah.
America just sucks. How can that happen?
You can watch them on Access playing at, what is it, Nebworth or Donington or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's...
Headlining it, playing it at night.
Yeah.
Fucking places, there's thousands of people there.
Yeah.
And they're playing a place in Rockford.
Holds 300 maybe, if that.
What? That's just
I don't
wrong,
care. I'm
man.
looking forward
America's,
to it, man.
But yeah, that'd be a
Shaman's
good
Harvest and Blackstone Cherry together.
That would be a good show.
That'll be a great show.
Good show.
And we want to thank Michael Angelo Batio for coming on the show. Pick up his CD, Shred Force 1, for all you guitar lovers out there. I'm kind of digging it.
Yeah.
And
might have to play some more of that because I like those slow,
tribute stuff.
Yeah, the Eric.
All right, we can do
Eric
that.
Clapton tune is really good, and so is that Dimebag and the Randy Rhoads one. It's got some parts of like Crazy Train and Goodbye to Romance, some great freaking guitar solo stuff.
Cool, I'm looking forward to it. All right, so next week we're going to welcome in Damon Johnson of Black Star Riders is going to join us on the show. And if you don't have the new Black Star Riders CD, you're really missing out. It is a killer.
Sure.
It's called the Killer Instinct.
It is killer.
Yep.
It's killer.
It's killer.
Instinct.
That's right. Pick it up. And until next week.
Yeah. Do you got a saying or anything?
I got the one saying that I always say now.
Do you have what is that? I've never heard it.
Don't drink and drive, smoke and fly. Here's Motley. Welcome to the Numb on Rockin' Metal Revival.
Is that what they're talking about?
Amen. Peace, brother.
See ya.
This brings to an end another edition of Rockin' Metal Revival. If you enjoyed it, tell a friend. If you didn't, tell two. Until next time, this is Rockin' Metal Revival.
I said, who wants to fucking touch me?
To catch the whole show of Rockin' Metal Revival, all you have to do is check it out on these affiliates. Mega Rock Radios on Saturdays from 11 a.m. Eastern Time. On Rock 101 KLOL on Saturdays 11 p.m. Eastern. On Z-Rock 106.9 KKZR Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And on Uncontrolled Noise Tuesdays at 1 a.m., Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern on UncontrolledNoise.com. And make sure that you leave them a message and tell them that you found Rockin' Metal Revival on their stations. Enjoy this edition of Rockin' Metal Revival.